I'm going to talk about the process first. So for those of you who have auditioned with us before, the first couple of minutes here is going to be a little boring. Just hang on. So you're going to come in to the lobby, and there's going to be a table, and Sydney's going to be there. Where's Sydney? Wave real big, Sydney. Show. Hey, hi, everybody. And Sydney's going to be there, and she is going to have all this paperwork. And again, this is one of those moments when you walk in, you can feel overwhelmed. All it is are the sides. And for those of you who do not know what a side is, it's the read you're going to do. It's going to have an OCC information page that you will fill out. That's just your name, address, that type of stuff. Come in, grab a seat. Is there anything else that we fill out? You sign in, which tells us the order that you're going to come. Now's the worst part, where you have to wait. I open doors and put the paperwork out at 6:30. So if you want to go at 7, you can be here at 6:30 or even a little before. I always used to show up about 7:30 because I didn't want to wait out there in the noise of it all. So for me, it was sign up at 7:30. I would be in the room by 8, no problem. It does take a little while because we're going to bring you in threes. So you will sign up. So 1, 2, 3. First 3 will come in. We'll have our pianist. There's going to be 5 people in the room who are the audition committee. One thing to know about the audition committee is we are rooting for you. It may not feel like it in that moment, but I promise we want to see your best. We are excited that you're here, and we are excited that you are taking this risk and going to be a part of our show. And so we're just trying to go, okay, how can we put these puzzle pieces together to make the best show possible? I can tell you already, there's a little fun tip, who is going to be in the room and on the audition committee. It's Boys Day, which is very rare for us. Our director, Keegan Tucker. Keegan, say hi to everybody.
Hey, Keegan.
Hi. Our musical director, Andrew Flynn.
Hi, Andrew.
Derek Mason, who is doing lighting this time, who has been leads in numerous shows.
Hi,
Myself.
Derek.
And a wonderful woman from EIU by the name of Anne. Anne is a director up at Eastern Illinois University. And we love to bring someone like this in because we know a lot of you. Some of you we don't know about. So when we bring someone like this in, they actually talk first once we get to that point. Because I know Sherry very well. I know what Sherry can do on stage. I know how Sherry sings. What if Sherry has gotten better, but I still classify her, I have her here instead of here? Last time we did this, Larry, the guy who came in, said, and she will have no problem with me saying this, you're being too tough on Delaney Stroud. And it was like, oh, I'm friends with Delaney. I'm friends with her fiance. I'll be at her wedding. And he said, you're being too tough on her because I knew her. So that's why we always try to have someone from out of town in the room who you guys do not know. She's wonderful, she's sweet. So those will be the 5 that are in the room. So once you come in, like I said, there'll be 3 of you, 2 of you will sit down. You'll head up on stage. Now here in a minute, Keegan's going to go through all of this for us and show us what the audition is going to be like. You will do your scales first, which we'll talk about here in a minute. Scales is one of those things that seems super scary. Please do not be afraid of scales. We aren't really judging scales. We just want to hear how high you can go and how low you can go. We're looking for your range. That's all we're looking for. So if you've done well, everyone in here will crack at some point. And for those of you who have done scales with us, I mean, you're going to sound like this at some point as you go down. Because we're looking for, okay, that is as low as they can go. After scales, you'll do your song. We'll talk about that more in a minute, and then you'll do your read. So we'll have someone up here. They do what's called a drive or flat read. They are not going to be extremely expressive. And the reason for that is we're trying to see, again, who can show us the best without a helper. So let's say Cindy comes in, and and I'm reading, and she's expressive, which makes me more expressive, which makes her more expressive, and it becomes this really cool dynamic that's unfair. Or maybe I'm just super good friends with Sydney. And because of that, I try to give her a little more. So what we do is do a flat read. So it's a very boring, you are here, put in the work, rehearse 100 times. And then you will say your line. Do not deliver it like they just did. Do not mirror them. But that's, again, we're trying to make it as fair as possible. On the sheet that you fill out beforehand, on the back page, you will want to bring your calendar and what dates you are not available. If you haven't been in our shows before, we have worked really hard to change the schedule to where you are here less than it used to be. It used to be 4 days a week, 3 hours a night, didn't matter what your role was, plus weekends. For the most part now, if you're in the ensemble, you're here Monday and Thursday for the first 4 weeks. And then we add a day for 3 times a week for weeks 5 and 6. And then you're here 4 days a week, week 7 and 8. And we do an 8-week rehearsal schedule. If you are a lead, then you're here usually 3 to 4 days a week. So there is a wonderful benefit to being in the ensemble, which means you can still have a life. So when we get to the music, Keegan, you want to come on up for me? And one of the things that we always ask is you are going to stand in the light. Find the light. I used to put an X down here, but then people would just stay there and not move. So I've kind of quit doing the X. But yes, so you can see, I can see him, no problem. And then we're going to, basically, you're going to introduce yourself. Someone in the room will ask you a question. And again, this is actually about trying to get you comfortable. Is music here? Where's she? Hi, music. Your hair's blue this time. I like it. What did we talk to you about? Because I just remember it was fun. Marble. You had marble shoes on, right?
Yes.
And I noticed her marble shoes, so I started talking to her about her marble shoes. And asked her what her favorite character was. Some of those type things. We're just trying to get you comfortable in that moment. We want to know a little bit about you. So be prepared to bring something interesting. So again, make yourself more memorable when you're in these rooms. And this doesn't go just for here. This goes for anywhere you audition. You've got to be memorable. Again, we're probably going to see somewhere between 35 to 50 people in 4 hours. Make yourself memorable. I remember Sherry's. We talked about something where you were on TV. I'd never heard that. And again, I know Sherry well. What TV show were you on? She did the hula. That is right. She hulaed on TV. And we have a whole bunch of people over in this section going, hey, what's a hula? They have no idea. I see faces back there. Yes, so you'll stand in the light. Introduce yourself. You can also tell us your name, your job, your family. Again, something to remember you. We'll make quick small talk. And then you're going to sing. Thank you. You're wonderful. Isn't he the best light person ever? Then you will sit down while the other person comes up and does it. And then it happens again. At that point, you guys will leave the room and the next 3 will come in. And this will happen 3 times. Once we get to 9 people, that's when we'll do the dance. So you might have to wait for us to get through 6 if you're in the first group of 3. But that way you're also not dancing by yourself. As a non-dancer, I could not think of anything worse than having to dance by myself. Okay?